Um, just showing confidence in them and, valuing other things. I think sometimes Jordan puts pressure on himself to score, and that's why I've, had a lot of press conferences where I've talked about, doing things outside of scoring that affect winning, and I think he's bought into that and done a much better job this year than opposed to last year. But ultimately, those expectations, I think the way you relieve that is just putting in the work. Putting in the work in the gym and trusting your own ability. But I don't think that ever necessarily goes away in today's day and age.
Most of these guys, obviously, most of the seniors, Your Honor, were here when you took the job. What was your sales pitch to them? How did you keep them from defecting or transferring?
Well, I think it starts with the fact that they love Louisville, they love the city, and they love the university. They love their teammates. I think that's where it starts. And then, my job was to try to gain a relationship with each one of them. And, relationships take time. They're not going to be instant. But, anything that I've done with our players, I've always just tried to be honest with them, be sincere, give them my viewpoint as I see it. And, I think from day one, we've talked about as a coaching staff, they're our guys. This isn't wait until, we get our type of players in. I want to be able to push them and be able to have important and meaningful seasons in their career, and they've been great.
Did they help you in any way as you, some of them were here before you were, or, these older guys, did they help you kind of get set here when you came in?
Sure, they were coachable from day one. I never felt like I was coaching a group that had sort of one eye on me, like what is he about? I didn't feel anything other than coach just tell us what to do and we're going to do it. And we have some great people in our program, and our seniors have been terrific every step of the way.
Chris, has Dwayne been the perfect embodiment of what you want this program to be?
Yeah, except he doesn't talk a whole lot. I really want our guys to be able to communicate on the floor, and so I've been hard on Wayne in certain instances, but yeah, on and off the floor, he's a terrific teammate. You guys know what he brings to the table every single game night. I mean, he's the hardest playing guy on the floor. He makes big plays. He doesn't seek credit. He doesn't. He isn't a malcontent. He doesn't get shots. He goes about his business every single day. And like I've said many times, you have 13 Dwayne Suttons on your team, you wouldn't have to come to practice.
Do these seniors make your job easier? As far as you can give them something and they can break it down to the teammates, or
Yeah,
is it not like that?
I don't think my job's ever easy.
I'd
But
say
I,
it's easy enough.
I no, 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 no. I get it. Just putting that out there. But I do think that when you have people, and I don't use the word players, when you have people like we do with our seniors, you enjoy coaching them. You trust that the message is heard, that the players, they're. I hate using the term bought in, but they're about the right things. They want to win. They want to do what the coaches ask. It's easy to have feedback and dialogue with them because they're smart, and again, their heart's in the right place.
Are there things that they can take care of that you can trust them with?
Yeah,
With
sure. If you have really high character people in your locker room, they can take care of minor issues that don't become major issues. Again, I think when you look at guys like Dwayne and Ryan, Ryan, for instance, goes out of the starting lineup, never turned up his nose, never came to practice not going as hard, didn't want to have 3 or 4 meetings with Coach Mack. He was just he's just a good dude. He's a good person. He understands the team comes first. And, it's not just Ryan. We have that with, every single guy on the team. But when your seniors are like that, when your oldest players are like that, it sort of keeps everybody else, in the same frame of mind.
Chris, when Ryan came here, he was the shooter that Kyle recommended, and he's turned into a pretty good all-around player. When you got him, I mean, did you know a lot before you got him, and how different is he now?
I mean, you know a little bit. I watched a few games, but you don't really know until you get around people every single day what they're all about. From a basketball standpoint, as you guys know, I was talking to Brad Brownell about some other things, and he was talking about the freshman that he has, Hemingway, and they talked about like getting a guy like Ryan McMahon. And I told him at times I know the other team feels like it's 4-on-4 because you can't leave him. You can put him anywhere on the floor, and the other 8 guys can play their game if you help off in any way, shape, or form. Like that's 3 points. So I know he hasn't always made every single one, but for knowing what he can do and being circled in the scouting report for doing just that, he still gets them off and makes a lot of them. So. And again, the people part of Ryan is better than the shooter.
When you look at this senior group plus Jordan and all that they've brought, not just off the court like you mentioned, but on the court to your team, what is it like thinking ahead to next season and not to slight Malik or Darius or any of those guys who will be coming back, but not having this group that has been such a huge part of your success?
Yeah, I mean that's probably for a different press conference. We know who we're losing and what our team will look like. We have those staff meetings all the time, but this is more, to me, Danielle, with all due respect to the question, this is more about those guys, and we'll talk about what our team looks like without them. But I do know that for Team 106, they bring so much to the table, both on and off the floor. I think they're going to go out the right way. They've done everything their coaching staff has asked. They're better people than they are players, and they're pretty daggone good players.
What's their relationship like with some of those younger guys? Are they learning from them?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, they set the tone every single day for practice. Friendships, you probably have to ask those guys, who they're closest to and things of that nature. But how can you not respect, the guys that have been here 3 and 4 years and have won games, been part of really good teams, and go about their business both on and off the floor the right way every single day.
Chris, how's Malik coming along?
He's coming. It's day to day. He's not practicing yet, so anything that we put out there is purely speculative. We got to get the swelling to go down and the pain to go down as much as we possibly can, knowing that when he comes back, he won't be 100%, but no one usually is this time of year. So we want Malik for the long haul, and if he can play Sunday, I know he will, but I don't know that yet.
Jordan, when he was in here, said that Sunday would probably be his last game at the Young Center. Can you envision a scenario where it's not?
Not really. I mean, Jordan and I and his family had a lot of talks, during last summer, and that was just sort of the understanding. That's why we're honoring him, at senior day. He is going to graduate, I just no. I mean, I could make a funny joke and him coming back, but yeah, I appreciate that.
With Malik possibly out, how many minutes can you realistically expect out of Steven?
Well, large part of that is foul trouble and how fast the game's going. I mean, I think that Steven could play 25 minutes. I don't think that would be an issue. Again, foul trouble withstanding. We can play Dwayne at the 5. I intend to use Quinn a little bit. He's done a great job all year. So if that's the case and Malik can't go, that's sort of what it would look like. And we're looking at that all during the week this week since Malik hasn't been practicing.
How do you feel about 2 games in the next 2 weeks?
Well, I think our team, it's beat up. You got Aiden, you got Josh, now you got Malik. So, our team's beat up a little bit, and the guys that are healthy enough to practice, again, I think this is a great time to sort of lick their wounds, get in the training room, concentrate more on us the last few days rather than our next opponent, and we'll sort of start to target those guys here today.
How is Steven? He said he feels better. Have you seen him improve a lot this week?
Yeah, I mean, anytime that you're going to get some time off, back-to-back days. Our guys worked out on Wednesday but didn't do anything on Tuesday, and Steve didn't even do a workout on Wednesday. So he looked better at practice. Again, I think, if you're a guy that is at 100% this time of year, you probably haven't played at all.
I asked Jordan this question, but what do you feel like as a team you guys have left to prove from now to whenever your season ends?
Well, this is what you play for. So we got a lot to prove. This is what you play for. You play for a regular season championship. Obviously, we need help. I know that there are different opinions on conference tournaments and what they mean and whatnot, but that doesn't mean that the people in that locker room don't want to hang a banner and win a conference tournament championship. And then hopefully we're fortunate enough to play in the NCAA tournament, and we want to win the whole thing. But, we got to continue to get better and get healthier, and, there's a lot to prove.
You said that you need help, which is obvious. So have you, I guess you've looked at who Duke and Florida State have left on this team?
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I mean, but I've looked at it, yes.
Well, it matters in that you need help.
Right. Yeah, but it doesn't matter if I looked at it or not. We still need help.
It seems like there's a lot of parity this year in college basketball. With that in mind, does seeding matter as much? I mean, is there much of a difference between a 2 and a 3 seed this year?
Maybe not. I think that, the tournament, it's always, I've always felt like matchups play a big part of it. And I don't think that's going to change, no matter what your number is. So, again, I think that this year has proven that, a lot of teams have gone down, us being one of them. But, there have also been some teams that have strung together a lot of wins, too. So it'll be interesting. But I think the tournament always is. There's never a Superman.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks.